Chris Berman.
Welcome back, everybody. If you're looking for scoring, not yet. It's coming. We promise you it's scoreless in Cleveland. Well, there was plenty of scoring, New England and Indianapolis. Indianapolis scoring late when Coach Belichick gambled on 4th and 2, as everybody knows, just before the 2-minute warning. Let's read and react to this, Tom. In case you've lived under a rock, here it was, with the Patriots trying from their own 28 to pick up 2.5 yards, which essentially would have ended the game.
Yeah, and they came up about a half a yard short when the official marked it. The Colts would take over at that point, and Peyton Manning would drive for a touchdown. Look, I don't agree with the call. I played on the defensive side of the football. I believe you punt the ball down the field, leave the Colts and Peyton Manning that long football field that they have to drive for a touchdown. I think that Coach Belichick did this because he didn't have complete confidence in his defense and feared Peyton Manning getting the football. Now, I think that Ted Bruschi, who was here early on tonight, said, yes, be upset, you're competitive, be mad, but go back to work on Wednesday and get ready to play. And I don't think there's another team in the league better equipped to do that than the New England Patriots.
And the Jets are going to find that out.
They will find that out.
Week. You know, at first, I, like everybody else, was going, scratching my head. Of course we were. But 24 hours later, I get it. I get what the coach was trying to do. It just didn't work. And I'm listening to Coach Belichick's press conference today, and he's not verbose. But I don't think for a minute that he would make another decision, even though knowing that it didn't work. Kudos to the Colts. They won the game. They're 9-0. But kudos to the Patriots, who know they can play with the Colts and hope they get another chance to see him. Now, coaching decisions. What is it? Well, you're not alone, right? So Jacksonville was down to the Jets and had a chance to go ahead, Tom, but they didn't.
Well, as Boom said, I'm disagreeing with a lot of coaches off of yesterday's games. I don't believe in not scoring when you have the chance. Maurice Jones-Drew takes a knee at the 1. Let's remember the Jags were losing the game at the time. So if something happens when you get ready to kick the field goal, bobble snap, block kick, you lose the game. So when you have a chance to score, score. Other thing, I don't believe in letting other teams score. You know, we're up by 6, let's let them score. We'll get the ball and go back down and
You're
score.
saying this is hard enough to get to the 1, so if you're at the 1 with nobody in front of you, go in?
100% chance of scoring.
Kid, that's what they asked him to do, and he did it.
Yes.
So it was he asked by the coaches, he did it, and the bottom line is they were rewarded with it. They kicked the field goal at the end of the game, and Jacksonville is at 5-4. Well, field goal, touchdown, we're looking for it. Right now we got defense. Jarrett Johnson hitting Brady Quinn. Welcome back to the starting role, Brady. No score. We're back in 30 seconds.
This November, get the best hockey action on ESPN America. We've got live midweek games all month as the top teams go head-to-head on the ice. Live midweek NHL on ESPN America. Check ESPNAmerica.com now for more details.
Presented by Toyota. Moving forward.
College Hoop Step-Off Marathon features over 24 consecutive hours of live basketball across the ESPN family networks. This is pretty interesting. 19 games from 5 different time zones. Midnight tonight on ESPN. You know the 4 a.m. game is coming from Hawaii. You know that. 6 a.m. game, one coach told the other, I got to move up the starting time a little bit. We'll get on TV. Well, Matt from Florida asks, I like this, which team would have won the game if the Patriots had punted on 4th down? And although the Colts have more stakes, 53% Colts, 46% Patriots. Interesting. Log on to ESPN.com to submit your poll question that could be used on next Monday's show. So, how do the Browns pull an upset? But Tom, Baltimore, they can't fool around anymore. It's 4-4.
Yeah, but best unit on the field so far tonight, the Cleveland Browns defensive line.
And that's Monday night.
Yeah.
This is what they do. Enjoy the second half, everybody. And if you enjoy defense, this is David Bowens. Joe Flacco didn't enjoy him. 2 sacks first quarter. Scoreless. All right. Enjoy the second.
For the widest choice of official North American sports merchandise, for the perfect gift to collect or just to look good and support your team, visit espnamerica.com.
It's where the Nittany Lions are white and the Tigers are fierce. It's where the Seminoles face the Hurricanes and the Yellow Jackets swarm the Terps. It's where the Irish fight and the Trojans charge. It's where the Longhorns battle the Sooners and the Crimson Tide face off with the Rebels. It's where the Gators rule the swamp. This is college football. It's where spirit counts the most. Never die.
Got his man. Touchdown.
It's about tradition and pride. It's about today and tomorrow. It's American football played from the heart. Watch tomorrow's legends play in games today. College football lives here on ESPN America.
Are you ready for the football? A Monday night party! Where primetime pigskin officially started. Get those helmets crashing, the crowd is sight. All my rowdy friends are here on Monday night.
Set for the third quarter from downtown Cleveland, Ohio. In search of a point. No score. Mike Tirico, Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Michelle Tafoya is down on the sideline. We'll get to Brady Quinn here in a second because the Browns get the ball first. If I'm the Ravens, I'd be a little worried here. That is not a team that looks like a team that played the AFC title game last year.
Yeah, this won't be, but the Ravens better get their offense going. They're averaging 358 yards a game coming in this game, which is 10th best in the NFL. Only 140 yards in the not
Brady
good
Quinn,
enough.
Brady Quinn second half.
I want to see Brady Quinn do something. We've seen a couple bootlegs, a couple quick slant passes. Worried about who the Mike linebacker is and declaration, all these protection issues. I want to see him drop back and hunt down the field a little bit. The Browns have got to get a big play in the passing game.
A missed 36-yard field goal, our only score here in this half. Joshua Cribbs has tied an NFL record, 6 career touchdown returns, and he's got it at the 4. And he doesn't make it to the 20-yard line. Well covered. Michelle Tafoya down on the sideline.
Well, I spoke with both coaches, Mike. John Harbaugh said, we've just got to relax, get third downs. We've got our hands full with a very good defensive football team. We have to find a way to win this game. And Eric Mangini said he wants to keep up the tempo of the no huddle. He said that's been working well for them. Defensively, they want to continue to throw those disguises at Joe Flacco. They think that's been throwing him off, Mike.
If Flacco, Michelle, has not had a good half, 8 of 12, just 92 yards, and sacked a couple of times. Brady Quinn, 6 of 12 in the first half. His Browns take over at the 19. And they will run it with Jamal Lewis, who backs in for a couple of yards. Let's go through Brady Quinn's first 30 minutes.
Well, once again from Brady Quinn, you see the short passing game, but I like this. Get him out on the edge. Get the ball to Royal. I like the quick stick route to the tight end height. Get the ball out of his hand. Some short, accurate throws, but he's eventually got to make some plays down the field. This dink and dunk offense not going to get you big plays.
Bunch formation to the right. Quinn throws that way. It's deflected by Terrell Suggs. Third down coming up.
Well, everybody has access to a hit chart. I have access to a little Brady Quinn hit chart here. Where's the ball going? Not very far down the field. To the right side, to the left side. Every pass is inside of 10 to 12 yards, Jaws. And you got to be able to back these people off of you. I really want to see this big guy out of Notre Dame cut it loose. He down here, 3rd and 8.
Just take Cribbs and run him down the field and try to make a play.
The 21, another quick toss, and the defensive lineman know it too. Jarrett Johnson knocked it down, and it's 3 and out of the gate for the Browns. And guys, this is what the problem was with Brady Quinn when he came in last year. All short passes, nothing downfield.
I don't know who you blame for it. It's everybody together on this, but it's It's a quick screen. You got to be aggressive. You got to knock hands down. All that coaching clinic talk, but
it's
real
true.
conservative call.
It's true.
That is true.
Reggie Hodges kicking it away. Another poor kick by Hodges. Fair catch was called for. Chris Carr couldn't get to the ball. And lucky for the Ravens, it did not hit one of their special teamers. It's at the 41-yard line for Flacco in Baltimore. This will be the best field position of the night after another poor 38-yard kick.
Of Ludwig's big league career.
There's no challenge too great for the Vikings' Adrian Peterson.
And it's loose, and there he goes!
In just his second season, the running back led the NFL with over 1,700 rushing yards. Also a weapon in the passing game, number 28 can do it all.
And it's an Adrian Peterson touchdown!
In Peterson, the NFL has found its newest superstar.
Somewhat unwatchable tonight both ways, but let's credit both defenses too. They have taken care of everything. Ed Reed and company in Brady Quinn's head. Only 6 of 14. This is the best field position for either team tonight. Flacco and the Ravens start at their own 41. And Flacco swing it to Ray Rice out of the backfield for 5 to the 46. Trustnick over there with McDonald on the tackle.
And Joe Flacco really struggled in that first half, only 92 yards passing because the Broncos secondary was outstanding. They disguised their looks very well. You see the 2 deep safeties man under. They do an outstanding job with their coverage, know where to go with the football. Flacco gets sacked. Here, once again, you'll see man-to-man, nowhere to go with the football. He has to check the ball down to Ray Rice, does not get the first down. The Browns secondary and their defensive coverage have been outstanding.
Rice runs for about 1.5 yards. Good job against those 6 offensive linemen. Power formation. Kaluka Mayava, the rookie at USC, continuing to make good plays.
That's a nice job. The ball bounces to the outside, but Cameron Wembley keeps that outside arm free, does a nice job getting off the block and forcing it into Trusnick and his friends. But that's a good job rallying to the football by the young linebacker, number 66, Kaluka Mayava.
That's the 3rd time we've done that tonight. Wembley with a good play off the edge. There's 5. Browns have been very good again tonight on 3rd down. 4, Flacco's pass caught at open field for Mason. Derek Mason down the sideline. Takes it to the 10-yard line. A pickup of 44 from Mason.
Flacco does an outstanding job of identifying the one-on-one coverage, the isolation route. He had it on the outside. He saw Brandon McDonald one-on-one on Derek Mason. Look at this throw. It just whistles by Brandon McDonald. Mason takes it up the sideline.
Browns having confusion on defense. Only 10 guys out there defending Rice. He goes to the outside and scores the game's first touchdown. The Browns only had 10 guys on the field. They couldn't get number 11 out there. They should have called timeout. Instead, Rice runs it in, and you see Mangini and Rob Ryan trying to figure out who made the mistake over there.
Great job by the Baltimore Ravens. You get an explosive play, and it's a great time to go to the no huddle. Cleveland Browns, they don't know which personnel the Ravens have on the field. They're caught with 10 guys. They're completely outflanked. Rice punishes them off tackle. Great job by the Baltimore Ravens to start the third quarter.
That's where you call timeout.
Right.
And the coach can call timeout. He can run to the side judge there on his side and call timeout. It's a mistake all the way around on the Browns, start to finish. And the Ravens go 4 plays, 59 yards. And Ray Rice gets the game's first touchdown.
Speed, strength, everything you could want in a wide receiver.
He's so fast that when you run the play action, before you can react to it not being a run, Andre Johnson's already about 10 to 12 yards down the field. Feed the horse, because that's him.
Quick throw, left side. Caught! Touchdown, Andre Johnson. He comes down with it somehow, some way.
NFL on ESPN America.
Get ready for the holidays on ESPN America. December means bowl season. Bright young stars of college football.
Touchdown, Texas!
Our NHL coverage continues with even more great live weekday games and Saturday night doubleheaders.
Shoots, scores!
And the top teams in college basketball go head-to-head. We've got live non-conference matchups. December on ESPN America. ESPN America puts you in the driver's seat this November with a live NHL viewer's choice. Choose between 2 huge Thanksgiving weekend matchups. In the West, the Flames burst into Hockeytown to face the Red Wings. Or in the Southeast, the Thrashers hit the ice in Carolina. Vote now at ESPNAmerica.com and tune in Saturday, the 27th of November for the winning game. A live NHL viewer's choice only on ESPN America.
Over his defensive line. He's done a good job most of the night, and they're in conversations about what happened with the personnel there at the last play of that quick 4-play drive. Eric Mangini shaking his head, very unhappy with mistake.
Don't beat yourself. I mean, that's been all season long for the Browns. They've beaten themselves.
Hauschka kicks to Cribbs from the 4. Joshua Cribbs, if he can get this block, they have some room to run. There goes Cribbs to the 42-yard line. Good 38-yard return.
Well, it's not just the defense, it's the offense. They got to get some offense. The first 3rd and 5 of this game, they go to the Wildcat and run a double reverse, and DeJuan Landry's just waiting on it. And then you get good field position, 3rd and 4, your right tackle jumps off sides. Then great field position on 2nd and 4. You misfire on a 1-step stork route. And then on 3rd down, I think they got to be more aggressive, Jaws. Take some shots.
I'm with you, coach. Throw one down the field here.
Well, this starts their best field position of the night to begin a drive. On 41. Quick drop, quick toss, off the hands, intercepted. Heading back the other way with DeJuan Landry. Back-to-back plays, touchdown Ravens.
Well, it's the simple route that you have to complete it. Just a stick route to the tight end should be an easy pitch and catch.
Well, it's really important that when you run these outside breaking routes off of 3-step drops, the receiver has to see the ball leave the quarterback's hands. That ball got in on Royal, who's a tight end. It's not an accurate pass. Tip passes against the Baltimore Ravens in traffic. There are no other defenses that score more points for their team than the Baltimore Ravens.
And the extra point is blocked. Can't do anything with it. Sean Rogers, who's a machine at blocking kicks, gets another one. Rogers has blocked 13 field goals and 3 extra points now in his career. DeJuan Landry all the way. 2nd interception return for a touchdown of his career. Ravens lead by 13.
Welcome to the beautiful city of Minsk. Not only is it the capital of the Republic of Belarus, but also the sport of motorball. At first glance, it appears to resemble some type of post-apocalyptic version of football, but the finesse of riders and the sheer power of the bikes makes this sport unique. The intensity is unlike any other sport, as both teams battle incessantly in order to gain the possession of the ball by either outmaneuvering or outmuscling an opponent. The ultimate goal is to conquer the other team's net. Obviously, motorball has its certain risk involved, but they can never overshadow these moments of glory. The sport played, to the winner goes the spoils. Stay tuned for more amazing games right here on ESPN.
Celebrate Thanksgiving on ESPN America. Next week, start your Thanksgiving Thursday with live primetime NFL as the Packers head to Detroit to face the Lions. The Cowboys host the Raiders, and the Giants face the Broncos. And on Friday night, kick off a weekend full of North American sports, including NHL.
Scores!
College football.
Held on! Touchdown!
And even more primetime NFL. So celebrate Thanksgiving here on ESPN America.
Nothing to 13-0, just like that. A couple of quick scores on back-to-back snaps. 2 touchdowns in 17 seconds. The second one off the interception. Brady Quinn off the hands of Robert Royal, and Jawan Landry took it home. They're mixing up their kicks. This is a short kick to make it tougher for Cribbs to return it. So instead it gets returned to the 34-yard line by Gerard Lawson. Let's go back to the pick 6.
You know, this throw is one of the few throws you want to see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hand. You see the tight end Robert Royal's head is back to the quarterback. And I say you want to see the ball in his hand, not like your normal routes, because it's a short throw. It's coming through offensive and defensive linemen. It gets on the tight end very quick, as it does to Robert Royal. It was also an inaccurate throw. But clearly, Brady Quinn has got to settle down, calm down. Don't rush that throw like he did.
Here's a run down for Chris Jennings up the middle to the 40-yard line. Guys, keep back to a couple of things you just said. First off, you said that throw comes out quick. He's got to see it because of all the people there.
Robert Royal, the tight end, wants to see that ball come out of the quarterback hands. The antithesis of what you normally when you talk about a quarterback where there's anticipation, but because it's such a short throw, a lot of bodies between the quarterback and the receivers, and it's hard to pick the ball up for a tight end on that little stick route. So you want to see it coming out of the QB's hand.
After a gain of 6, Jennings remains the lone back. And the rookie out of Arizona runs on the end, and he's submarined by Fabian Washington. We'll have 3rd down coming up.
You know, when you use antithesis and anticipation in the same sentence, I have a hard time hanging with you. I think this is really important.
When I talk, Coach.
I think this is very important for Brady Quinn in his career as a pro player here in Cleveland. I think he's got to get something going. This is his 3rd year, 2 different head coaches. I know it's 2 different offensive coordinators, but here he is now out there in a Wildcat, and I know they're not going to throw him the ball.
3rd and 2, Joshua Cribbs takes this snap directly. And a former quarterback at Kent State picked up a nice block from the fullback, Vickers. And into the arms of Ray Lewis on the sideline, but a 1st down at the 45-yard line. And you talk about playing for multiple coaches and multiple offensive coordinators. A new organization comes in. The Mangini regime did not draft Brady Quinn. So that loyalty of how long you have to give him shrinks a little bit.
Well, they didn't draft Derek Anderson either, but they got to put a guy out. He's a young quarterback. He's got to be on the field. If you're having a tough time, you've got to play through those difficult times. But you've got to give this guy a chance. I mean, I don't see any rhythm to this offense whatsoever tonight, and I haven't seen it all season long, as a matter of fact.
Quinn sprinting to the right to Furry. Gain of 3.
Yeah, another 3-yard pass. I mean, yeah, these, you know, if you got a tight ball game, fine, but eventually you've got to get this defense on their heels. They're sitting on everything.
For those who don't remember, Brady Quinn started the first 2 games losses, was pulled at the half of the 3rd game against these Ravens. It was 20-0 at that point. Derek Anderson, who had very poor numbers. I know sometimes the quarterback rating confuses some folks, but in the fourth quarter of games this year, Derek Anderson's quarterback rating is 3.1. In any stat, that's not good. Thus the change made at the bye week. The run was Jennings. Penetration from the Ravens. Down. Fabian Washington, who was called out here for his play the last week or so, has been very impactful against the run game tonight.
Well, it's going to bring up a third and about 11 on the play. So I think they're going to have to throw the ball down the field to get a first down.
Well, that's Ray Lewis. You know, Ray Lewis, Fabian Washington, that's Raven defense. And on 3rd down and 12, what a great opportunity to heat up Brady Quinn. Expect pressure.
Browns have to get to the Ravens 44. They haven't been there all night. Quick toss off the hands of Furry. Intercepted back the other way with Chris Carr. We thought about a lateral. A flag is down as Carr goes down at the 40. And Terrell Suggs is shaken up along with Quinn.
Well, that's just what happened. You get in
after
third
the interception.
down.
Personal foul, low block, number 10 of the passing team. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down, Baltimore.
It's Quinn on Suggs, who's limping off, hurt his right leg.
You know, you get into a 3rd and long situation against the Ravens, it's a feeding frenzy. They're gonna blitz you, and they did right here. Here you see it coming right off the left side, and the Cleveland Browns, they almost look like they're under siege, Ron. The ball comes out quick. It's not a perfect pass. It's on the backside shoulder. It's another tip ball, an impact turnover. Mark this down. The Ravens last year led the NFL in turnover. Close to it. And they're well on schedule here as they start the second half of the season.
And John, you talked about that feeding frenzy. Right now, the Ravens are blitzing about 50% of the time in passing situations, and the results have been very good. Greg Madison, the defense coordinator for the Ravens, hey, he's dialing up the blitzes tonight because he knows he's got that offense of the Browns off balance.
Suggs limped over to the sideline. Movement on the left tackle, Garrett Gaither.
False start, number 71, offense, 5-yard penalty.
And I think that what John Harbaugh told us last night is important. He's tired of these penalties on the Ravens. But take a look at this throw by Brady Quinn. It's not a bad pass. It's not a great pass. But, Jaws, you've got to make plays. Somebody's got to make a great catch. Somebody's got to make a great throw. Somebody on this offense has to snap out of it.
John, they don't have those guys, right? They don't have those kind of playmakers on offense. It's part of the issue.
I mean, Mike Burry, to tell you what, the guy was an Arena Football League player. He's been playing defense. He's been playing offense for the Browns. Mike, you're right. They don't have the skilled players to make the offense work. And I don't care who the quarterback is right now. It won't make a difference if you put Tom Brady or Peyton Manning out there or Drew Brees. They're not going to get this offense going. There's not enough a supporting cast.
Hey, that guy's a 1st-round draft choice. I haven't seen Brian Rabisky or Muhammad run a route past 5 yards. How do we know?
Ravens trying to deliver a knockout punch here at the 28. 2nd and 14. Flacco, a little lost out there on the edge. Brandon McDonald holding him up as a flag is down. Back in the middle of the field, Sean Rogers joining McDonald for the tackle.
Well, if I'm Joe Flacco and I get on the edge like that, I'm going to get down if I see Sean Rogers coming after
number 71, offense. That penalty's declined. 3rd down.
You know, when you run a bootleg to your quarterback's left and he's right-handed, take a look at it. He's going to boot to his left. Remember, he's a right-handed quarterback, and you suspect you really are vulnerable to getting hit on your throwing shoulder. And that's why you don't see a lot of quarterbacks move to their left very often unless they're really athletic. That's scary.
And the Browns came with a corner cat with Brandon McDonald quickly in the face of Flacco.
3rd and 20. They drop 8 in coverage. Rush only 3. Check down to Heap. Will try to get him in field goal range. He stopped at 26. From here, a 44-yard field goal.
Sean Rogers is a dominant football player. When he decides he wants to turn it up, he literally is unblockable. 350 pounds. You see the agile athlete that he is. Look at him chasing Joe Flacco. Look at the arm over, throwing people out of the way. What a gifted athlete. When this guy wants to crank it up, you don't want to get in his way.
He blocked the extra point a moment ago, tried to put pressure on Hauschka. 44-yard kick, missed from 36 earlier. That one from the right hash mark, didn't miss it to the left. And a confidence builder for Hauschka. The Ravens have scored 16 points in 5 minutes and 8 seconds.
The new NHL season continues on ESPN America. And every Saturday, doubleheader of hard-hitting hockey action. This week, the Capitals head north to take on the Leafs, and the Oilers host the Blackhawks. A live NHL doubleheader, Saturday on ESPN America.
Snap this back to Ronnie Brown. Run to the right. Oh, yeah! Into the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins.
Wildcat. That's our playbook now.
Once again, direct snap to Ronnie Brown. Fakes it to the left. Throws to the right.
Yes! He's got it!
That's the way it's going to be. Whatever it takes. Wildcat offense again. And it once. Now tips it back.
Oh, my God!
Downfield. He's got a receiver. It's going to be a touchdown, Dolphins.
NFL on ESPN America.
College where athletes become machines, where spirit counts the most, and where blood runs green and gold. Catch all the action from your favorite teams and watch tomorrow's legends play in games today. College football lives here on ESPN America.
Largest city, Cleveland. Columbus, the largest city in the state, for those of you scoring at home. 16-0, the Ravens lead. Sean Rogers, who's tasted defeat far too often in his career. It's his 123rd NFL game. His record as a player is 30-89. That's a lot of losing locker rooms to go back into.
Negative slides.
Oh, yeah. Stand by for some positive ones, huh? Joshua Cribbs couldn't catch that kickoff at the 7. They're going to be taken down at the 22-yard line by Jameel McClain. Well, if you love college basketball, put the pot of coffee on. Let's roll. 24 consecutive hours of college basketball starts at midnight, essentially right after our game. 19 games, 5 different time zones. It starts at Pauley Pavilion, Cal State Fullerton against UCLA. Tomorrow, Michigan State in prime time, and then Memphis, Kansas, a rematch of the title game 2 years ago. Some great college hoops as the season really tips off. Coming up, starting at midnight on ESPN. There's a 6 a.m. game being played in New Jersey, so coffee on call. Enjoy. From the 23, here is Lewis. Running up the middle for about 4 or 5 yards. Well, Brady Quinn is so familiar to us guys because you see every one of his games on TV from his Notre Dame days. Well, Notre Dame gave us some great quarterbacks over the time. Montana, LaMonica, Joe Theismann, Steve Berline. Look at all the touchdowns they threw. Well, lately it has been a drought. Meyer, Jarius Jackson, Brady Quinn. Notre Dame went through the Lou Holtz phase where they ran it more than they threw it. Quinn, now coming out after his 4 years, has not been able to get his sea legs.
What's going on at Notre Dame? We need this guy to pick it up here, John.
I hear you. Give an opportunity. Call something down the field.
27, they bring Cribbs. Hey, they handed it to the Ghost. Not the Ghost to the post, but the Ghost past the marker, first down.
Well, we've been looking at film all week, and they run that Ghost reverse, and John was saying all week, they better give it to Cribbs. No one's even paying any attention to him. Well, they finally gave it to him, and there's a positive play out of Joshua Cribbs.
These are all young receivers for the most part for the Ravens, and I think you got to test old Brian Rybisky. You'll see him at the top of the screen, number 80. Rybisky Massaquoi down here. These are rookies. Test them.
Paul Kruger, the rookie out of Utah for the Ravens, got back onside. Mike Furry the catch. That's a completion for a loss of 1.5 yards.
I have seen more bubble screens, quick screens, tear screens, whatever you want to call them. I can't remember seeing this many screens in the course of a ball game. You know, we've talked about all season long, an old coach of mine, Sid Gilman. Right now, I'll tell you what he'd be telling me. Get in that huddle, get them wide receivers, and tell them to start running some 9 routes. We're throwing the ball down the field. Give them a chance to make a play.
You've had coaches who were supportive, not just in how they brought you up as a pocket passer and a quarterback, but also how they supported you when times were tough, what Brady needs right now. As he throws to Jamal Lewis. They take you back to 1978, Jaw's second year in the NFL, trying to get his sea legs in the very tough city of Philadelphia.
Risky! Now come here. Come here, now come here. I want you to hear me when I say this. You never have to worry about me jerking you. I know it.
I am not going to let the fans substitute my quarterback. They've been doing that here for years, and they have never come up with a quarterback that can win for them. I've got one that can win for us.
And it's a little bit of what Cleveland's going through. This is the 22nd quarterback change they've had since the franchise started up again in 1999. And they need some of that fortitude like Dick Vermeil. Flag down, pass to Robisky's, caught his second if it holds up, but shy of the first down.
And Mike, I can't tell you how much that meant to me. When you're a young quarterback, it's tough enough playing against 11 guys on defense. I had a coach, an organization that supported me, because for any young quarterback, there's going to be some...
Number 99, defense.
Offside on Kruger,
lined up in the neutral zone.
A 5-yard penalty. Keep it going. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, there's going to be some problems in the development, and the coach has to stick behind you. He's got to trust you. Dick Vermeil gave me that confidence. Maybe other people didn't, but it equates to what's going on in Cleveland. The coaching staff, the organization, has got to believe in Brady Quinn. Now, that was 1978. 3 years later, we were a Super Bowl football team. And that's what the Cleveland Browns have to remember. If you got a guy you believe in, let him work through it. John, you've had to develop young quarterbacks. You know what it's like. You got to trust them. You got to believe them.
It's 3rd and 2. Direct snap to Cribbs. Picked up the last 3rd and short. He'll be very close to this one. Ray Lewis tried to bend him back. It'll all depend on the spot as Kelly Gregg and Ray Lewis.
You know, you get into some of these 3rd down and 2s. And I used to ask myself on the sideline, you know what? I think I'm in 4-down territory. I know I'm going for it on 4th down and 1. So I'm going to hand the ball to this guy, Jamal Lewis. But Cribbs is obviously the go-to guy in the Wildcat formation for the Browns short yardage situations.
Eric Mangini was asking, and he should get one. He's asking for a measurement there. Instead, we're going to get a timeout taken on the side here by the Browns. So Cleveland takes its first time out of the half with 3:24 left.
ESPN America puts you in the driver's seat this November with a live NHL viewer's choice. Choose between 2 huge Thanksgiving weekend matchups. In the West, the Flames burst into Hockeytown to face the Red Wings. Or, in the Southeast, the Thrashers hit the ice in Carolina. Vote now at espnamerica.com and tune in Saturday the 27th of November for the winning game. A live NHL viewer's choice, only on ESPN America.
Long, cold days for these Browns fans since the franchise came back in 1999. 1 winning season, or 2 winning seasons, 10-6, 1 playoff appearance. Well, they won 10 but didn't make the playoffs. You go into Romeo Crennel.
This is state of Ohio. Football is of the utmost importance, and they need the Cleveland Browns to find an offense in a hurry. They've been waiting a long time.
Well, they got the Bengals playing well right now. They are in the state of Ohio.
That's right. Magnified by what Cincinnati's doing down the road. 7-2, 5-0 in the division.
Go for it.
Cleveland goes to Cincinnati in 2 weeks. 4th and less than a yard. Quinn sneaking it. And it looks like Brady will get the first down.
I just need to see some fast break offense. I think the no huddle, in and out of the huddle, the tempo's got to increase. We're running out of time, and Cleveland knows it.
They're listening to you, John. They're going no huddle. Do something to change this up.
Down the run, Jamal Lewis, the former Raven, for 2 yards.
You know, one of the things that the Ravens have really struggled with on defense is they've given up a lot of big plays. You said it in the lead into the show. 27 plays of over 20 yards.
In the passing game,
Fabian Washington has had a hard time with pass interference plays. Foxworth has been beaten a couple times. I just think you got to push it and maybe get a PI. Let one of these young guys try to create, but here they go back to the Wildcat.
They've been called for a defensive pass interference, the Ravens 9 times. Just Lewis running again against his old teammate, his good old friend Ray Lewis up there in the middle. And we speak of Jamal Lewis, Baltimore Ravens. Says he's going to retire after this year. In 2003, he had guys that I think may be the most underappreciated single-season accomplishment by an NFL player. 2,066 yards, second to Eric Dickerson's 2,105 in 1984. Passed that mark on an ESPN Sunday Nighter against the Steelers in overtime. And Jamal said, it's not the team being bad, it's not anything else. And I've got other interests. My plan was always to leave the game after this season. And he does so right now, 21st on the all-time rushing list. 3rd and 7 against pressure. Ray Lewis up the middle, and Quinn just ducked out of the way and goes down for a sack.
Well, Brady Quinn had no shot on that one. Ray Lewis just blew in the back. Touch.
Well, this is Ray Lewis. He's been doing it forever. You're using all these dummy snap counts, trying to figure out who has who. You're coming off your bye week. You need Ray Lewis. But, Jaws, you had 2nd down and 7 at the plus 46. You get into the Wildcat, then you take a sack. Just a bad sequence there for the Browns.
There's Carr running up to make a fair catch at the 26-yard line. Ravens will take over there. Because we mentioned Jamal Lewis a moment ago. He made a lot of news earlier in this off week for the Browns, essentially calling out his coach, Eric Mangini. He said, we're practicing too long with 2-hour practices, half-hour walkthrough, to which Mangini responded by having Lewis in his office, keeping Eric's longtime tenet of, my door's always open, come in, communicate. Lewis is one of the captains. We talked to David Bowens, who was a linebacker with the Jets, Mangini's team last year, and he said the practices are about as long. I think there's a little bit of not understanding from where Jamal Lewis was with Baltimore and Brian Billick. Practices weren't as long. Practices weren't as long for this team last year. Flacco in trouble, the flag down, he throws it out there, incomplete. Needless to say, it is another headache for this team with many issues. Now you have the offensive captain and the veteran saying, we're practicing too long.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, number 24 of the defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That was on Eric Wright.
Well, based on what I've seen as I studied the tape of the Browns all season long and watching this game tonight, they need to spend a whole lot more time on the practice field. I mean, it's just been a dreadful performance, particularly by this offense. There's no rhythm in this offense. The play selection is questionable. Nothing down the field, nothing aggressive. I'll say this, the defense has given a heck of an effort tonight. Rob Ryan at least has those guys flying around, except for when they had 10 men on the field on a Ray Rice touchdown.
Here's Willis McGahee, stiff-arming around the end with Eric Wright trying to block. It's always uncomfortable, John, when a player kind of calls out the coach and says, hey, we're practicing too long. We're 1-17.
Well, losing does that, you know, and We saw a heck of a tight end a couple weeks ago. Tony Gonzalez didn't want to come back to Kansas City. You see it with Larry Johnson. Hey, losing is hard. And Eric Mangini, he's a heck of a coach. He got his work cut out for him. They don't have a lot of talent. They got to put this team together. But you take losing home with you. It affects your family life, your personal life. It is hard when you're a pro football player.
All going to gain a couple of yards, and that'll bring the third quarter to a close.
Yeah, in defense of this coaching staff, and I don't want to sound real hard on with all those things going on, but there's a dearth of talent on the football team. They're a couple, 3 years away from being a competitive football team. They've acquired a lot of draft choices via trades. They will have the opportunity to build the football team.
But you know what? We got some fun stuff in the Gruden vault for the fourth quarter.
Oh boy.
We've dug up some stuff. You guys have no clue what's coming. End of 3 in Cleveland. 16-0 Ravens.
For the widest choice of official North American sports merchandise. For the perfect gift to collect or just to look good and support your team, visit espnamerica.com.
Over the past few years, Doc took more hits on the field and in the media as he transitioned from a running quarterback to a pocket passer. But as the number of his scrambles went down, his completion percentage rose. Now, with a retooled offensive line and Deshaun Jackson leading the deepest receiving core of his career, the Eagles hope McNabb will have a career season.
Dwight Clark and Chris Palmer, part of the expansion group, got off to that 5-win start their first 2 years. And the new coach, Butch Davis, was brought in. The one successful playoff opportunity they had, 500. Clark was out, replaced by Pete Garcia. No success there. Hit the reset button. Changed Phil Savage, Romeo Crennel. Had a 10-win season a couple of years ago. 4 wins last year. They're out. George Kokinis was brought in after Eric Mangini was hired as the head coach. But Kokinis was removed, terminated for cause. Was the exact wording, and now we wait. They're going to hire a football czar to kind of oversee things. Bernie Kosar's brought in as a consultant, the former Great Browns quarterback, and now the decision, who will be running this franchise going forward, and will that person keep Eric Mangini as the head coach? Will he be consulted? There are a lot of unanswered questions going forward with the Browns organization. 3rd and 2 to start the fourth. Ray Rice thinking about a throw. Lefty toss for Heap. Broken up. Incomplete. Ravens want pass interference. Will not get it as Rodney Poole ran back.
Well, they had him fooled. You know, but you go back and look at the Ravens. Here's a halfback pass. Take a look at Ray Rice rolling to his left. He's got Todd Heap. He's got to throw it out towards the sideline. Not enough on the throw. But those 3rd and 1s, those are the situations, Jaws, I think the Ravens got to heat that running game up.
I totally agree. I don't get that play at all. The one problem they've had is the consistency in the running game, and they go to a gadget play on 3rd and short. Let him go, let him go!
Cook to kick. Cribbs will haul in the 45-yard punt at the 16. Trying to work to the open space on the left side, and he gets beat around and knocked down by the combination of Tyree and McClain. Just past the 20.
You know, the other night, I went to see a basketball game here in Cleveland. I might be able to.
You by yourself?
Yeah. I can tell you where there's some offense.
Where?
Well, there's this guy who plays for the Cavaliers, number 23. Boy, is LeBron James an offensive guy. Holy cow.
What a tight end he would be, huh? Wide receiver. You think he can go deep?
LeBron was a fabulous player in high school. Junior year. An all-state performer, concentrated on basketball his senior year of high school. Quinn getting out of there, gets to Vickers. Complete pass, loss of 3.
You know, speaking of basketball.
Yeah.
People here in Cleveland had a hard time getting over Michael Jordan over Elo in '89. Boy, they dreaded that guy, Jordan. But we've corrected that. we got our own King James. Look at him taking care of the Chicago Bulls. Well, we got it all addressed. LeBron James, lace him up. Come join us tonight. We'd love to see some defense.
Chris Jennings on the run to the 25. Gain of 6. Had you seen LeBron play in person before the other night?
That was my first time. And I tell you what, when you see his physical stature, that's what blows your mind. If you're near LeBron James, get a ticket.
Watch this guy play. The first thing I thought when I saw him, tight end, tight end, man.
Well, it's part of the panic. Of course, he's a free agent after this NBA season, and he is Cleveland's hopes for a championship.
False start, number 73, offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
It was on Joe Thomas. Of course, the Cavaliers have been to the NBA Finals once 2 years ago, didn't win a championship. The Indians are long suffering, and they too have hit the reset button and rebuilding. Stay positive, Cleveland sports fans. It's gonna happen sometime. One would hope.
Great sports town. You know, God, they love their brownies, but it's gonna be a long time before they're competitive.
Quinn deflected and knocked down smartly. Quinn and Steinbach were over there, and that'll set up 4th down.
You know, when you get into 3rd down and 13 against the Baltimore Ravens and go to a no-back set, you play quarterback. Look at all these Ravens beating down on you, not quite sure who's coming, who's blocking. No chance.
No, not a shot.
And there's Kruger out of Utah. Ozzie Newsome, 2nd-round draft choice. John Harbaugh wanted to get him active. They're excited about the progress that Kruger has made. But once again, a 3-and-out for the Cleveland Browns.
And a penalty mixed in. You can't beat yourself. They're not good enough to make those kinds of mistakes. They've been making them all season long. Browns fans not happy at all tonight.
Price was helped off. Terrell Suggs earlier on, as Brady Quinn went to block him on that interception, and blocked him low, is penalized for it. Suggs has a knee sprain, the Ravens tell us. Unlikely to return tonight. You hope it just ends up only a knee sprain. Hodges punting for Zastadil tonight. Kicks it to Chris Carr, who returns it to the 49-yard line. 2:03 gone in the 4th. The Browns in search of a point.
Hey, look, I need a little bit more from everybody. Let's go now. Let's get the running game started.
McNabb goes to Westbrook. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown!
Ryan Westbrook is one of the NFL's most dynamic running backs.
Nobody runs the screen better than Ryan Westbrook.
Able to break the long run or get the tough yard. The 2-time Pro Bowler is the key to Philadelphia's success.
To the count, and he struck him out. That's a change-up, strike 3 call. And the fastball put him away. Struck him out. He struck him out. Curveball struck him out swinging. The magic is still there.
ESPN America is your home for live college football.
Holy cow, what a play.
Every Saturday, join the Game Day crew as they travel across North America.
Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Covering the best matchups in the college football calendar.
Touchdown, Oklahoma. What a great call.
College Football Saturdays on ESPN America.
North Coast Harbor, where they built the Science and Technology Great Lakes Science Center and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and new Cleveland Browns Stadium on the site of the old Municipal Stadium. Ray Rice runs right. McDonald shows him the sideline. Look out. One of the Browns' assistants over there gets taken down. There's a flag back by the play.
Personal foul, face mask, number 66, offense, 15-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Ben Grubbs.
You guys talk about Ozzie Newsome in this old municipal stadium on this site. There is a picture in the current stadium honoring some of the Browns greats, including Ozzie Newsome, 13 years of tight end in the Hall of Fame a decade ago. And as we mentioned, he went on with the franchise to Baltimore and has built a very successful team after the Hall of Fame playing career that he had with 682 receptions.
That's a man's man right there.
Yeah, spent some time with Ozzie today, and he's a class act, and he's done a heck of a job building the Ravens into a consistent winner.
First and 25. Short run for no carry in there by Rice. No gain. One of the first rounders that Ozzie's taken. He started his very first draft, the Ravens' first draft, with Ogden and Lewis. Look at those Pro Bowls. Then on through the rest of them, guys. All quality players. He's drafted so well over the years.
That's impressive.
Kyle Bowler didn't work out, obviously. Natsau's a future Pro Bowler. Clayton never stays healthy. Flacco, certainly an opportunity. And Michael Orr, you guys have raved about. The rookie right tackle, he even played a couple of games at left tackle.
Yeah, Ben Grubbs has played well, and I think Flacco's going to be a Pro Bowler himself down the road.
Built a terrific team. Steve Bisciotti, the owner. As Rice carries to the 47-yard line.
You know, I think when you go back to Ozzie Newsome, you can't forget what kind of player he was. He revolutionized the tight end position, clutch catches. Look at him run after the catch. Where's the ball security, Oz? But look at this guy.
Lock it up.
He's Alabama's finest right here. Ozzie Newsome played for a long time here in Cleveland, and he is one heck of a guy. And don't forget all the veterans that he's brought to Baltimore. Matt Burke, Derek Mason, Trevor Price, and a great Shannon Sharp, Rod Woodson during their Super Bowl runs.
This is 3rd and 12. Underneath it's Rice, who's pulled down by Maava, who has had a very good game starting for the second time. And the Ravens will be forced to punt.
Yeah, Mike, you talked about Maava, and he really has played well tonight. There have been a number of times he's been singled up against Ray Rice out of the backfield, and Rice is an explosive back as a receiver. Maava's done a really good job on him tonight. One of the players that the Browns can build upon for the future, that rookie out of USC.
It's a heck of a play. They love to run everybody off and let Ray Rice work underneath, and that really puts a linebacker in a vulnerable position. Great play by the rookie out of Southern Cal.
You saw the Gunners. They've done a nice job supporting Sam Cook's directional kicking, making Cribbs a non-factor in the return game tonight. And another one here. Well done by the special teams of the Ravens. Down at the 11. 10-14 to go here in Ohio. It is a two-possession game. It doesn't really feel like it.
Celebrate Thanksgiving on ESPN America. Next week, start your Thanksgiving Thursday with live primetime NFL as the Packers head to Detroit to face the Lions. The Cowboys host the Raiders, and the Giants face the Broncos. And on Friday night, kick off a weekend full of North American sports, including NHL.
Scores!
College football.
Hold on! Touchdown!
And even more primetime NFL. So celebrate Thanksgiving here on ESPN America.
Manning takes the snap. Manning back to throw. Has time. Looks, fires one. Play fake. Manning to throw to the end zone. Touchdown!
Manning gonna be hit. Gonna be sacked. No, he got out of it. Now he fires downfield, and it is caught.
Manning left, lobs it left, throws it wide open, touchdown Giants!
NFL on ESPN America.
Monday Night Football on ESPN America. Join us every Monday night for live NFL. Get ready for the big game with Monday Night Countdown. Then it's showtime as two more teams step onto the gridiron.
What a play!
for the Monday Night Showdown.
No way! Touchdown, Arizona!
Monday Night Football on ESPN America. Go to espnamerica.com for schedules and information.
Back in Cleveland, the Browns being shut out 16-0. Team's only scored 5 touchdowns on offense this year. As we're now through 35 quarters of Browns football. And back here inside their own 10, they'll go to Joshua Cribbs, the former Kent State quarterback out of the Wildcat. Quarterbacks in the state of Ohio, very versatile people. Cribbs a gain of 5. Now, this isn't new, this is old stuff. Go back to the day
there we go.
at Youngstown State here in Ohio. And Ron Jaworski.
You know, speaking of the Wildcat, I saw you in the side saddle tee.
There you go.
Look at you. The only problem was you didn't fool anybody. You weren't a Wildcat. You were a Wildcat. Side saddle tee. You faked the ball. You're not. You have no elusiveness.
That was 4 yards.
You the Polish rifle because you couldn't run.
Why did they find some passes anyway? You know. Thanks, John. Appreciate that.
Hey, Jaws, hang in there a second. I got your back, buddy. Here's Quinn's pass. It is on the sideline, incomplete. There's another state of Ohio quarterback who made his name in the Buckeye State.
John Gruden, junior quarterback, Tampa, Florida.
Wait, Jaws!
Hey, he fumbled the snap!
Hey, wait, watch this. Watch this move, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this speed.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. Was that impressive? I mean, Dayton Flyer football, man.
Oh, gosh.
Hi, I'm John Gruden. That was nice. That was nice.
Some of the best offense we've seen tonight. 3rd and 5.
Right.
4-man rush for the Ravens. Quinton throws to Furry, complete. Gets it to the 30 and a first down gain of 14.
Well, it's a little option route. Take a look at Fury. He's working against Chris Carr in the slot. And Quinn does a nice job hanging with him. And Fury wins to the inside. Boy, you'd love to see Fury really make something happen after the catch. But it's a nice throw, big 3rd down conversion. If that's the way you could run with if you had an opportunity.
John, small steps here. Make the catch first.
Here's Quinn throwing from Massaquoi. Very high and incomplete. You know, and we joke about it, and their offense has only put up 2.8 yards per play. We mentioned 5 offensive touchdowns in 35 quarters. You know, I always tell my son, never give up on a game. And this is still a 2-score game. If they can hit one play and make something happen, they're still in this game.
No question.
You got to believe that if you have any chance of coming
absolutely.
back.
Nope, I agree with you. If you're a Cleveland Brown, you got to believe you can make 2 plays in this game. No matter how bleak you've played to this point, you got to believe.
From the 30, pressure from the Ravens. Quinn throws incomplete, intended for Harrison. Trevor Price brought the heat.
You know, when you play against the Ravens, you got to really be careful with Ed Reed. If you spend too much time watching Ed Reed, you're never going to know what the coverage is. This guy he's amazing. He's all over the field. He knows where he needs to be when the ball is snapped. But before the snap, this guy's going to be all over the football field. He secondary coach. When he's done playing, I'll hire him.
You and a lot of other people talked about an intuitive, instinctive safety. None better than Ed Reed.
Furry in short motion, 3rd and 10. Quinn, here's a shot down the field from Massaquoi. Incomplete. Lagarius Webb came in and brought the pressure. Dominique Foxworth on the back end had the coverage.
Well, at least we saw the attempt down the field to Massaquoi. Give him a chance to make a play. Foxworth was in coverage, but at least there's a chance for a big gain. They have not been doing that tonight. They have done nothing to dust off the secondary of the Ravens.
Reggie Hodges signed officially yesterday because of Dave Zastido's injury. Tyree had a chance at a block. 37-yard punt, big hit by Mike Adams on Chris Carr. Brings him down back at the 30. Great job by Carr to hang on. 55 snaps on offense for Cleveland tonight. 50 of them in their own territory. Cannot get past the Ravens in the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
The new NHL season continues on ESPN America. And every Saturday, we're bringing you a live doubleheader of hard-hitting hockey action. Shoots, scores! This week, the Capitals head north to take on the Leafs, and the Oilers host the Blackhawks. A live NHL doubleheader, Saturday on ESPN America.
Now, Ryan Ludwig. Majority of the players that come through in the clutch have a sense of calmness about them.
Deep left field. He put a charge into it for his second home run tonight. 7th multi-home run game of Ludwig's big league career.
This November, get the best hockey action on ESPN America. We've got live midweek games all month as the top teams go head-to-head on the ice. Live midweek NHL on ESPN America. Check espnamerica.com now for more details.
We're going down to Houston. Hey, the Titans are on a roll. Keith Bullock's got the defense playing a little bit better. Mario Williams, a former #1 pick, and Andre Johnson, their terrific wide receiver. It is Tennessee against Houston next Monday night, 8:30 Eastern. From Houston, you'll see the league's leading rusher, Chris Johnson, first one over 1,000 yards, 109.1. Max Schaub, third in the league in passing yards, and Andre Johnson, third in the league in receiving yards.
We're going to see some offense next week. All right.
That's next Monday night. What about the day for Chris Johnson yesterday? 132 yards and 100 receiving as well. 8.5. Let's see what the Ravens can do on the ground as Ray Rice, John, runs it for about a gain of 5 here on first down.
I think, just like we talked earlier, guys, this is a situation where the Ravens need to flex their muscle and get their running game going, because they're a good enough team to have a lead in the fourth quarter in meaningful games. And the only enemy is the clock. And here's a great opportunity for the Ravens to end this game on offense with their running game, because they are capable of smashing you with it.
Well, they got the big fellas in there, Ray Rice and LaRon McClain.
Second and 4. Here comes Rice again. A couple yards shy of the first down. Jason Trusting tackling him. Hey, Jaws, we've always talked about the passing game and the run game, the run-pass mix. This is interesting. Here are the top running teams in the NFL, and their combined record is 6 games below 500. We talked about this with Joe Flacco last night.
The NFL is about explosive plays. And I've said this for years. Points do come out of the passing game. It's very difficult to go 80 yards in 12 plays against the complex, sophisticated defenses that you now have in the NFL. That's old school. That running game, you now have to have an outstanding passing game that generates big plays.
Again, he runs to the other side of the unbalanced line. They had 3 linemen to the left. He's right at the first down sticks here at the 7-minute mark. What do you think about the kind of seed change here a little bit and how winning football's played, John?
Well, I agree. I also think every time Ron makes a point, he's got a nice graph here.
That's right. That's right. You got it.
Showcase his stuff. But the point I want to make is that's 3 consecutive runs by the Ravens, and over 2 minutes of the clock is gone. And they're going to run it again and again. And if you can beat the clock, watch the game last night. Everybody's talking about that Colt game. You know, it's hard to run the clock out when you're passing the football, Ron. You know that.
First down pass to McClain in the flat. A gain of 2 yards. What, was anybody talking about the Patriots Colts game last night?
I understand it was a good game.
What an intriguing late night that was to watch.
The other thing, too, you know, the Ravens, you know, you start getting in November, December. You know what the weather's going to be like in Baltimore. You're going to have to deal with the elements. You know, Joe Flacco certainly has the arm to knife the ball through the windy days he's going to have there. But you have to have that running game, especially when you play with the lead. The quality teams now like to start fast and then milk that clock with the running game in the second half.
McGahee, 2nd and 8. Carries the tackler mostly. What about last night? What do you guys think of the decision by Bill Belichick at the end of the game? 4th and 2, choosing to go for it.
Well, with access to the results, it's easy to say it wasn't a wise choice. You know, punt the football, make Peyton Manning go, 70, 80 yards. But then I thought, and I said, wait a minute. Peyton had just gone 70, 80 yards twice already in the quarter. So maybe the best thing is when you got a hot Peyton Manning, you give the ball to your future Hall of Fame quarter Tom Brady and let him try to make a play. So, it's easy to second guess when you know the results, but Belichick has been a guy that's unconventional. He'll make tough decisions, and he did. But what I would have done, I would have punted the football.
That's a long, drawn-out explanation, man. How are you going to dispute Bill Belichick? Give me a break.
We're coming back to that. Yeah. Hey, come back. I want to hear what you have to say.
Good call.
Timeout, Ravens. We'll be right back.
Sunday Night Football on ESPN America. Touchdown! Sunday NFL Countdown gets you ready for a live triple header. First up, the Falcons take on in New York. Later, face Tom Brady's Patriots.
Cruz is in for the touchdown.
Then the Eagles call out the Bears in Chicago. A live NFL triple header, Sunday on ESPN America.
James Harrison has been outstanding all year.
The strip and sack by Harrison. James Harrison pounded him, and it's a two-pointer. James Harrison came in low. That's his patented specialty. James Harrison now is the Steelers' all-time sack leader for a single season. 16 sacks. Picked up, James Harrison has it. He's running up the sideline.
That is the biggest play of this football game.
NFL on ESPN America.
ESPN America puts you in the driver's seat this November with a live NHL viewer's choice. Choose between two huge Thanksgiving weekend matchups. In the West, the Flames burst into Hockeytown to face the Red Wings. Or, in the Southeast, the Thrashers hit the ice in Carolina. Vote now at espnamerica.com and tune in Saturday, the 27th of November for the winning game. A live NHL viewer's choice, only on ESPN America.
Down in Cleveland, Progressive Field up there, upper left, where the Indians call home. Loans Arena right next to it, so a very short walking distance to all three major pro sports facilities downtown. 3rd and 2, there comes the blitz from Mike Adams. Didn't get there in time. We call tangled feet on the side here with Brandon McDonald and Kelly Washington. Incomplete on 3rd and 2 as the Ravens chose to throw it.
Well, they're very lucky that there were tangled feet right there, because this had the potential for being an interception going the other way. There you see Mike Adams forcing the quick throw. And on the other end, we'll try to get a look to you. That ball was almost intercepted. Dangerous play call there at midfield with this situation.
I don't get the last two play calls. A halfback option pass on 3rd and 1, and you got 3rd and 1 again. They're throwing, another ball to the wide side of the field, almost intercepted.
Well, somebody's asking for movement. Finally, we get a few flags.
False start, number 53, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Don Jameel McClain. They thought they had one on the Browns and did not.
And Mike, and be sure we don't let the genius off the hook over here. When you get to him on that Belichick question, he's trying to dodge me here, so we'll get back to that.
No.
Yeah, all right, I know, he got kind of quiet all of a sudden.
Nobody escapes. Nobody escapes.
Let it go, let it go.
Bouncing kick brought in by Prince at the 15. Very good coverage all night here, Baltimore. Prescott Burgess made the tackle. John to give us his view.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, I'm not 180 like you are. I'm going to be consistent with what I said. I agreed with the call. I went against Peyton Manning on Monday Night Football. We had a 35-14 lead with 5 minutes left, and we punted it to him, not once, twice. And he ended my night. Peyton Manning is that good. I don't care how good your defense is and whose feelings you hurt. You got Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. They had the play they liked, and really they had the matchup they wanted. They just didn't execute the play. Who's going to fault Bill Belichick? They got a 2-game lead.
Here's a shot down the field for Cribbs. Incomplete. Looking for a flag. Not getting it.
There's Joshua Cribbs. Talk about a jack of all trades. You know, this guy lines up in a Wildcat. He's their leading tackler on special teams 3 years in a row up until this year. Here he is running a go route. They rarely call the feet tangled as pass interference. You know, this guy threw over 1,100 passes at Kent State as a quarterback. He's a football player.
Quinn pressured, flushed, throws for Furry, who makes the grab, tackled by Ladarius Webb. I'm glad you brought up Cribbs because there was 1 year in between them. The quarterback who followed him for 3 years at Kent State was Julian Edelman, who is now a receiver for the Patriots, caught a touchdown wearing a cast last night. We'll see Edelman, Brady, all the Patriots, and Randy Moss in a couple of weeks when they go down to New Orleans on a Monday night. 3rd and 6. Quinn lost this. He tried to load up. He was hit by Jared Johnson. Came off the edge.
Brady Quinn just doesn't have much of a chance. By the time his back foot hits the ground, defenders are in his face. Literally no shot. You'll see John St. Clair. He sets Jared Johnson right around the corner. The minute Quinn sets that back foot to deliver the football, he does not have a chance. The ball stripped out of his hand.
Well, it's always something, Jaws. You know, it's a penalty here, poor protection there, drop ball there. 0 points.
Hodges kicking. 48 yards to the 35. And a return of 5 by Chris Carr near the 40. Well, you talked about, we just talked about New Orleans being undefeated. Indianapolis still undefeated. Peyton Manning's leading them. This is the game you were talking about earlier, John.
Oh, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
No, this guy right here, I told you his name is the Sheriff. He always gets his man. And when you have Tom Brady against Peyton Manning, it's going to come down to those two quarterbacks. This guy right here, I don't care how good you play defense, Jaws. That guy is the best I have ever seen. That's why I call him the what?
The Sheriff.
The Sheriff.
Are you with me, man?
He got his man last night again, just so we're on the same page.
I feel like when you said I got to clap too, you know, is that all right?
From the 39, here goes Rice. Gain of 1 for Kenyon Coleman. And next up for these Baltimore Ravens, an opportunity to see the undefeated Indianapolis Colts, who are 9-0, and then the Steelers. It's a very tough slate. Remember, they have both games remaining with the Steelers and the Colts. We'll see them at Lambeau on a Monday night, December 7th. And then they have the Lions and Bears as they continue on. So this is a very difficult slate. That's why there was a little margin for error. And although the Ravens look like they're going to win, this has not been an impressive, dominating performance that some people talked about.
It really hasn't. With that schedule, they're going to have to play a lot better. You know, Joe Flacco made a few plays today, but the consistency wasn't there. You know, their 3rd down, I'm scratching my head on a couple calls, a halfback option pass, you know, dropping back. When I think you just got to start pounding the football a little bit, coming off the ball, you know, ice the game away when you get a 16-point lead.
Rice is carrying for the 19th time tonight. He gets close to the 85-yard mark, and another timeout taken by Cleveland.
You know, everybody says that the Ravens have lost 4 tough games to really good teams. We lost to Minnesota. We lost to Cincinnati twice. Gee, we've been close.
New England.
Well, they've beaten Cleveland twice, who's without a win, and they beat Kansas City, a team that's struggling. Next week and the following week, give the Baltimore Ravens an opportunity to take out the 9-0 Indianapolis Colts and their nemesis, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those next 2 weeks, that's when you're going to find out about the Ravens. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, and they've got a running back that I love. I think Ray Rice is a complete football player. You know, he can catch the football, he can run, he's an every down back, he can block. I believe he has to be more of a focal point of this offense. When they get in these tough games, they can't rely on the passing game. They're going to need that balance.
3rd and 5, and they will run. Rice, his 20th run, picks up a 1st down. And here's a look at what Ray Rice has done tonight.
Yeah, and Ray Rice is a very efficient back. You know, he's diminutive size. He takes care of the football. He finishes plays. He's going north and south behind his pads. behind the block of Ben Grubbs. Look at him get upfield. And I love him on third down because he can pick up the blitz. He's a smart kid. He understands what it takes. Good receiving skills as well. They'll get him singled up in those linebackers, and he'll win.
Browns only down to one timeout. McGahee pops through there for 3 or 4 yards. Willis McGahee, of course, terrific from his days at Miami. Very good start with Buffalo in his first 4 seasons, and now having to take the role of a backup to Rice.
You know, when you talk about Ray Rice, he's one of those backs that's slow to the hole, but he's fast through the hole, man. And he is an outstanding receiver. He's one of the few guys in the world that leads his team in rushing and receiving. And if you watch this guy carefully and really study Ray Rice, wait till you see him pick up the blitz. This is a every down back. And he is a big-time player, man.
You saw the 2 other backs, Chris Johnson and Steven Jackson, the 2 other backs in the whole world. You've searched the globe to find the backs that lead in rushing and receiving.
Yes, I have.
Yes, you have. You know, I've got good news. It's the 2-minute warning. 16-0 Baltimore.
In 2008, the Super Bowl champion Steelers boasted the #1 defense in the NFL. Pittsburgh held opponents to a league-low 13.9 points per game and allowed the fewest passing yards and second fewest rushing yards in the league. Led by perennial Pro Bowler Troy Polamalu and 2008's NFL Defensive MVP James Harrison, expect more of the same from the Steel Curtain in 2009.
They say I'm explosive for my size. Watch out, kids. I'm explosive for any size. Pick me.
ESPN America is your home for live college football.
Holy cow, what a play.
Every Saturday, join the Game Day crew as they travel across North America.
Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Covering the best matchups in the college football calendar.
Touchdown, Oklahoma. What a great call.
College Football Saturdays on ESPN America.
Stuart Scott back with you on Monday Night Football after the game on SportsCenter, the GMC Sierra postgame show. All the highlights and analysis of this game, plus a couple of superstars in different sports. Larry Johnson, the running back, Allen Iverson, the basketball player, each may have found a new home. We'll check it out on SportsCenter after the game. Mike?
And Stuart, don't forget, we're 25 minutes away, not a moment too soon, from the college basketball marathon. 24 hours straight of college basketball. 19 games on the family of networks. Cal State Fullerton at UCLA tips off at the top of the hour. And on through to, you see the Sparties, Michigan State. You'll see Kansas tomorrow night in prime time. Anytime, next 24 hours, pop on the network and you get a college hoop game live. Pretty cool start to the season. McGahee the carry. And a timeout is taken by the Browns, their last. You know, guys, I don't know how many more years we're going to see Ray Lewis. You see him over there on the sideline. Year after year, his 14th year in the league, 34 years old, Super Bowl 35 MVP. And you sit with Ray before you go do a Ravens game. You just get excited about football. He still carries that unbelievable passion for the game and spreads it to so many young players around the league as well.
Wow. And there he is with his defensive coordinator, Coach Madison, who's probably going to be a head coach soon. Because everybody that comes in contact with Ray Lewis becomes a head coach. And Coach Madison's an outstanding coach in his own right, but Ray Lewis creates jobs for people. What a guy he is.
Here's McGahee running a couple of yards. Browns out of timeout, so the clock will run.
Take a look at all these guys. There's Marvin Lewis. He was here. There's Jack Del Rio. He was with Ray Lewis. Mike Nolan was with Ray. Hey, Mike Singletary was with Ray. Rex Ryan with Ray Lewis.
Any more?
I don't know if it's a coincidence, but that guy is 14 years, the all-time leading tackler NFL history, if you ask me. I've never met a guy like Ray Lewis.
You know, what he has lost in that speed and quickness, he's made up with anticipation. You know, that San Diego game earlier this year, you know, one of the great plays of the season made by Ray Lewis.
I'm going to give a little bit of credit here. We've been piling on Cleveland because we've been telling the truth about what's going on in the game. I'll give a little bit of credit to the Cleveland defense. They have not played a bad game. Myava's looked good. They're down their 2 inside linebackers. Sean Rogers gave you a good effort, blocked an extra point.
Well, it goes back to what Eric Mangini's bringing in here. High-character guys play like this. This is very important to these players on the Cleveland Browns. They've just got to find an offense. And I don't know that Brady Quinn fared real well tonight, Jaws. He has got to play better. They have got to find ways to score. And we know that.
Well, he needs some help. You know, you got Joe Thomas at left tackle, Eric Steinbach, the rookie Alex Mack, first-round pick at the centers. There's the left side of that offensive line, pretty solid. The right side, once again, is struggling, and it struggled tonight. But overall, that old line has got to play better.
Well, the Browns will take over as Baltimore turns it over on downs. Final numbers for the offense. Flacco, 13 of 18, a $155. Ray Rice, 20 carries, 89 yards. And the game's only offensive touchdown. Speaking of which, the Browns will lose for the 14th time in 15 games, and they will now have gone 60 quarters. 60 quarters, 15 games, John, with 5 offensive touchdowns. It's really remarkably inept.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they're confused here.
"20 seconds remaining. And Quinn will launch downfield for Cribbs. Incomplete.
Well, I'd like to see the ball at least somewhere near the field of play rather than outside that white stripe.
They have 11 draft picks next year, and one of the questions they're going to come across is, they'll decide over the next 7 weeks in the evaluation, what do you do in terms of quarterback? Do you take another one?
Well, you know, you got to take a look at that. You've got to see who's available in the draft. And that'll be something they think about here in 7 weeks. But in the meantime, they got to learn a lot about the players they have suited up right now and who's going to be a part of this building process.
Quinn with another launch downfield, and that one will also be well out of bounds and incomplete. You know, you dip into the quarterback pool for a first-round pick at quarterback within a 3-year span. Really, in the last couple of decades, it's only happened twice. Seattle did it when they took Rick Meyer and Dan McGuire, and Washington did it. They took Patrick Ramsey and then took Jason Campbell. So it's very rare that you see franchises have to take first-round quarterbacks within 3 years, but that might be the situation here.
Well, the ball has to land in the field of play. And I realize quarterback ratings, stats, and all that are important, but you got to put the ball between the lines.
Here's Cribbs underneath. We'll try some lateraling here. They get it back to Robert Royal, who is tackled at the 49-yard line, and the game comes to a close.
Ray Lewis said goodnight.
Joshua Cribbs was hit on that play and is shaken up and being looked at the Browns training staff as the game is over. The farthest advance for the Cleveland offense tonight was the Baltimore 45. And they check on Cribbs, who took that nasty shot as the game came to an end.
Well, there you see the lateral.
Royal is the last one holding it, and Lewis brought it to an end. Cribbs had given the ball up earlier and took the tackle. Well, it's been a year of many bad stats for Cleveland. And this was their first shutout of the year. First time they did not score a point. The Ravens come up with a shutout. Our final score, Baltimore 16, Cleveland nothing. The GMC postgame show is next.
Four sports writers who know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Today, the gamble that did not pay off.
a fantasy horror story. Oh, MJD, you killed me. And Bud Adams doing the bird. Here's a horn.
Bird is the word.